Okay, my friends, before we look at our word problem today, I have a story for you. And today's story is about Mrs. Brefka. I want you to imagine in your brain what's happening in this story as I tell it to you. Imagine Mrs. Brefka in a classroom at St. Anthony. Okay, and the students in the classroom are sitting at tables, and there's about 6 students at each table. Mrs. Brefka has 48 folders. That, my friends, is a lot of folders. Can you get that picture in your mind? She has 48 of them, probably in a big stack because there's so many. So imagine her holding that big stack of 48 folders, and she gives 6 folders to the first table right in front of her. And she wants to know, how many folders does she have now? Okay. I want you to keep that image in your head, friends, while I read the problem to you. And as you read, just like we do every day, remember to imagine what's happening in your head, just like this little girl is imagining what's happening in her head. Go ahead and close your eyes so you can really get a good picture of this story in your head while I read it out loud to you. Mrs. Brefka has 48 folders. She gives 6 folders to the first table. How many folders does she have now? Open your eyes, friends. Okay. I'm going to cover our story up. I'm going to take it away for a minute, and I want to ask you a question. Raise your hand if you're ready, if you're brave enough to tell us what is happening in this story. And here you're looking for a student to talk really in their own words just about what's happening in the story. So an exemplar answer here would be Mrs. Brefka has 48 folders, and she gives 6 of them to a table. Is what you're looking for here. If you call in a student and they struggle at first, that's totally fine. I would start off by cold calling a student or calling on a raised hand of a student who you know can answer well. And then once you do this repeatedly, your students will get in the habit of answering this kind of question back to you after you have read the problem twice and they've visualized twice. All right, my friends, we have read so carefully, but I want to read one more time now and just circle important numbers and make sure we understand the question. So we know Mrs. Brefka has 48 folders. And we know that she gives 6 folders to the first table. And we talked about how we visualized her taking that big stack of 48 folders and giving 6 to that table. And we want to know, what we're trying to find out is how many folders does she have now? We've done such a good job reading and visualizing and getting a picture in our head. Now it's your turn to draw. Using any strategy you want. You see how many strategies are here, and there's so many more. I want you now on your whiteboards to draw to try to figure out how many folders Mrs. Brefka has now. I'm setting my timer for 4 minutes. See if you can finish your drawing in 4 minutes. Don't show me yet. I'm going to have you show me when everyone has a chance to do their drawing. I just put a timer up here and let kids draw. Really trying to keep this open-ended so that children can use any strategy that they want. If some kids are struggling or grasping for a strategy here, that's okay, because when you come back together, you're going to model at least 2, if not 3, different strategies that you saw students do and that you just want to model as an exemplar. And kids will start to pick up on those strategies so that they have different strategies to access when they draw. And your kids are actually doing a great job of that. Okay, friends, great job on your drawings. I can't wait to see them. I saw how hard you were working. On the count of 3, I want you to hold them up in the screen for me Make sure you hold them in front of your camera with 2 hands so super still so that I can see all of your great math work. 1, 2, 3. And as students hold up their strategies, Angela, what you want to look for is a student who did a really concrete strategy. So maybe you have a student who actually drew out 48 circles, right? And then crossed off 6 of them. That would be a very concrete strategy here that you might choose to model, or that you might choose to have that student share. And then all the way from a more pictorial strategy like the quick tens in this one to a more abstract strategy like the tape diagram, or just a number sentence. So you'll start to see, and your kids are pretty adept at this already, a range of strategies, and you want to look for at least 2 that you'd want to model for students here. And if there's one strategy in particular, for example, in the exemplar that they give in the Eureka lesson plan that you want to show, then by all means show that one as well. But the more you can pull out and share student strategies here, the better. Okay, I'm just going to model 2 of these for you. But of course, the as we just mentioned, the range of strategies here would be pretty wide. All right, friends, I'm going to draw a line here. And you do not need to draw with me right now, friends. I just want you really watching my board, watching me up here, as I show you 2 different strategies